Did you know that Lancaster City is actually one of the fastest growing real estate markets in Pennsylvania? Today, I'm going to tell you everything that you need to know about moving here in 2026 and even show you what most people don't realize until after they move here. And if you guys are looking to move to Lancaster, Pennsylvania, or you have any questions about just the area in general, my goal is to be your #1 real estate resource. So hit the link in my description, book a quick 5-minute phone call with me. We can chat one-on-one for however long you need to answer any questions that you might have. We can connect there. One of the things that a lot of people don't know or realize until they start searching here is that a lot of the homes in Lancaster City are really old. Actually, most of these older homes being built between the 1700s, the late 1700s, and the early 1900s. So you're going to want to make sure you expect your quirks. You're going to expect the uneven floors, tight staircases, potentially I know some knob and tube electrical work, as well as those brick foundations. Although you are seeing a lot of these homes, these older homes that are renovated, this is going to mean that you're still going to get that old city charm that a lot of people like and a lot of people are attracted to in this area, but you're still going to be getting those updated systems. You're not going to have to worry about as much of the hardship of having a non-updated home. A non-updated home could mean that you have some unexpected expenses and surprises that you may not want, as well as this may be some more work for you in the long run if it's not taken care of immediately. Next thing a lot of people don't realize is parking. It's basically its own lifestyle. Obviously, if you're familiar with other cities and other areas, you're going to know parking, it's a bit tough, okay? But if you're moving from somewhere that was never in a city before, you never really lived in a city, you're not going to be as familiar about having to make parking, part of your day-to-day life. Off-street parking, it's pretty rare to have a home with off-street parking. If you do, that's a pretty valuable commodity, especially the closer and closer you get to the center city. Off-street parking is going to become more and more rare. A lot of people love garages, but unfortunately, those are also very rare. As well as another big struggle with the parking is some blocks have, on certain days of the week or whatever, whether it's your street cleaning or whatever it is, no parking. And so that makes it a little bit more difficult, as well as these events that so many people love also can make parking a little bit more difficult. Sometimes they got parking blocked off for certain events, whatever it is, making things even more difficult. So as you learn the area, you know where some of the best places near your house might be to park, especially if you don't have off-street parking. But a lot of the times people look for those homes with off-street parking or end up sometimes making their own somehow, not digging into, but taking some of their backyard space just for some off-street parking. Another thing you should keep in mind before you move here is that this is not Philly or a big city at all. This is actually part of what attracts so many people to Lancaster City. Lancaster feels more small, historic, and walkable than some of the bigger cities that people may be moving from. The nightlife does exist, but it's just not as crazy as places like Philly or New York where things are just happening all the time. A lot of people like that though, you still have something to do, but it's just not as crazy, it's not as hectic, it's not as chaotic as some of these bigger cities that, some people are trying to actually get away from. And to completely eliminate the parking issue, walkability is actually a huge perk about Lancaster City. There's actually plenty of people that live here that never actually even own a car, which is a huge expense that is no longer an expense for you, as well as, a lot of the inconveniences of owning a car no longer exist because you don't need it. You just walk everywhere. Your ability to actually just live your day-to-day life and walk to shops, walk to wherever, restaurants, walk to work, and not ever actually need to drive or get in a car is actually a huge reason why so many people do move here. And there's plenty of alternatives when it comes to buses and Ubers and things like that, where you don't ever actually have to worry about owning a car. Some of those things are a bit nicer on maybe rainier days, but so many people love walking to the places that they go to on a daily basis that the fact that parking is a bit of an issue is a lot of times more so an issue that are for people that live outside of the city and spend a lot of their day-to-day life in the city. Another big thing is that local food it's a pretty big deal. This is what we're so well known for. Not only do we have the oldest continually run farmers market in America, we're also home to some other fantastic farmers markets that make amazing quality food super available. Restaurants like Plow, John J. Jeffrey's, and Double C are all known for having some amazing farm-to-table food, all grown locally. Lancaster Central Market has some of the best food that you could probably ever find. Some of the highest quality farmers, homegrown produce that is right in your backyard, basically. I actually personally go to Lancaster Central Market like every weekend to get my food because that's like the best place to shop for it, for some of the highest quality food that you'd be able to find. Another thing to keep in mind is that Lancaster is actually a pretty compact city. You know, neighborhoods do change just block to block. So within minutes, keep in mind that the atmosphere could just completely change from one side of the street to the other, or one block to the other. These are things that you get to know. You get to know the area, you get to know where you like to be and where you hang out. And so if you want to get to learn some of the areas and different neighborhoods of the city a little bit better, be sure to check out some of my other videos. I do talk about this, but if there's something in particular or a particular neighborhood or area that you want to learn more about that I haven't talked on or touched about enough for you, leave the comment down below. I'd love to hear suggestions and get to know about what I should maybe talk about a little bit more, as well as I want to be able to make sure that I answer as many questions as I possibly can. Another thing that attracts so many people to Lancaster is that you're really only an hour from Philly. Philly is a much larger city, attracting many more people, which is just making things very tight, compact, cramped, while Lancaster City just isn't giving you that. You're not as cramped as Philly, as well as you're not as high in price as Philly, so you're going to be a little bit more cheaper, nicer place to live in terms of quality of life with what you can buy with your money. It's especially great for young professionals or families who are looking for a fun small town culture, or someone who's just looking to have a more affordable, walkable lifestyle. On the flip side though, if you are looking to be in a bigger city with more attractions and a bigger nightlife and whatever, this may not actually be the city for you. Lancaster is a small town. You have to keep that in mind. I mean, that is why so many people like it so much, but it really just isn't for everybody. And so there are some people out there that want the bigger city, bigger, louder life. And so this may not be the place for you if that's the case. I love helping people find what area of Lancaster is right for them. If you're looking to make a move or you're just interested in more information, click the link in the description and book a quick 5-minute phone call with me. I'd love to get to meet you and know you there.